Hello, and welcome to episode 6, I believe. 6, right?
Yeah, this is episode 6, yeah.
I should check these before I start recording, but I'm never gonna.
You should.
Episode 6 of Adaptapals. My name is Jack, aka A Forgotten Donut. Joining me today...
My name is Dustin, aka Dustin.
I
did
said
that joke the other week and
Yeah.
I'm reusing it.
I also said joining me today like you're not always a part of this
I'm
podcast.
always here. I will always be here.
As in, like, the special guest, Dustin, who you've never heard before.
You've never met me, and I've never met me.
Who truly does
That got
Dustin?
deeply philosophical for a minute there. What are we talking about today? Well, it's a good question. What is this? So this is Adaptapals, and here at Adaptapals, we talk about game adaptations and movie adaptations eventually, and TV show to game adaptations, and that's just what we're discussing today. So, before there was Star Trek and Star Wars and bloody The Mandalorian and Red Dwarf and the other big sci-fi franchises.
How many do you want to mention today? Yeah.
I had another one, but before there was all of those, there was Doctor Who. So today, we're asking the question, is Doctor Who adaptable?
I really did think that you weren't going to do the adaptable for a minute.
Well,
there.
I was trying to work it into
Yeah.
that bit, but I couldn't get my head around the dialogue, so it
was
worked.
That was a slow build. I kind of liked it, but...
So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Classic sci-fi franchise Doctor Who. Are you a fan of Doctor Who, Jack?
I sure was, at one point. Is
That's
that
fair.
sad? Yeah. I would like to be again, but, yeah, I dropped off hard. I dropped off really hard.
I think you'll be again soon. I think that the beauty of Doctor Who is that they can just reboot it very easily. Like, you can just be like, oh, it's been like 1,000 years, and here's the Doctor just living their best life, and they've got an alien companion now. You don't even need to include Earth. Like, you could just do everything and ignore current canon, but it'd still be canon. Like, you don't have to, because it's a time machine. Like, the Doctor can just go back in time 1,000,000 years and do stuff with that. Like, it doesn't really matter.
It's always
And
changing.
who cares if it breaks a bit of law? You know, the show breaks its own law every other day. So
Oh, for sure. Oh, Christ. It changes every episode, it feels.
pretty much. And it's like they did a big universe reset in season 5, so you can always do another big universe reset.
Yeah.
I love Doctor Who. I've been a big fan since I was a child. Like, it's same with like Star Wars for me. I don't remember Doctor Who not being in my life. Essentially, it's really weird. So yeah, I've always enjoyed it. I watched like the classic stuff, and then the revival happened, and I've seen obviously all the revival, most of the revival stuff. I have not seen, like, I've seen probably 10%, if less than 10% of what is on offer of the classic Doctor Who. But I love it all. It's all awesome and cheesy as hell, especially the old stuff.
Oh, it's real. I haven't seen much of the old stuff, but boy,
It
is cheesy as
It's
hell.
real cheesy and real low budge, and I love it. But it's also a lot slower as well. Like, you go and watch like classic Doctor Who, it's so slow sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because it's a different way of making television. But yeah, so it is in fact the longest running sci-fi franchise of all time.
Shit.
So it started in 1963. We're just going to jump straight into history, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it. Yeah,
cool,
that was like a smooth ass transition. I'm not gonna.
It was. Yeah, so it started in 1963, got 26 seasons up until 1989. There were 7 actors.
Ridiculous.
It's a lot. It's a lot of seasons. It's like The Bill, I think, had maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, British shows just go on forever. It seems.
They've got 2. They either they have like 10 episodes, but it's the 10 best episodes you've ever seen.
Right, yeah.
Or they go on forever and ever and ever.
Or the third option is they get 6 to 10 episodes and they're garbage.
Okay, yeah, that too.
Jekyll and Hyde is apparently just terrible, or I think it's called Jekyll. It's the name of the show. It's made by Stephen Moffat. I watched a YouTube video about it. Yeah. Apparently, it's awful.
I think I watched the same video. Why Sherlock is shit.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
I can't remember who made it, but
H.
look up
Bomber
why.
Guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah,
He's a
yeah.
good boy.
There you go. Yeah, go check out H. Bomber Guys. Don't listen to this podcast. Go look up why Sherlock is shit.
If you want actually good content, go there. If you want
great.
your regular scheduled trash, stick with us.
I didn't realize that that was him.
Yeah.
That's a great video.
It's really
Uh,
good.
yeah. So where was I?
The
Oh
history
yeah,
of Doctor Who.
yeah. History of Doctor Who. So this is really cool. So the seven people have played the Doctor originally, like the original sort of 26 season run. You had William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, not Tom Dacre, Peter Davidson, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy. Now it's really cool. The reason that so many people have played the Doctor is because, as you may know, he's an alien. We actually did not talk about this. For anyone who
I
doesn't
was
know,
literally about to say, maybe we should do an explanation. For those of you who
yeah,
don't know Doctor Who and are like, how have 7 actors played them? I've googled some of
yeah,
them. They all look very different.
they are very different. So winding back a bit, essentially the premise of Doctor Who is that the Doctor is an alien from a faraway planet, and they travel around in a time machine called the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. It's quite cool. And when they die, they regenerate into a new body, which is really cool.
A new body, a new personality, a new
Essentially, new
basically
personality. Yeah,
different human, a different person.
Yeah, and with like same memories, but it's real weird, especially with like the latest. So what I said the latest, I meant like with Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi. There's two very different versions of the Doctor,
You got a young,
and
kind of quirky boy turning into an old grumpy man,
into an old grump,
and then
yeah,
an old grumpy man. Well,
we'll get into it. So yeah, the idea for regeneration came from the fact that William Hartnell was just getting old and he couldn't do it anymore. So they were like, well, we don't want the show to end. So what if we write in this concept of regeneration, where a Time Lord, which is the race that the Doctor is, when a Time Lord dies, they regenerate and get a new body and everything.
it's kind of genius in that, like, you can have this long-running character, and it's the same character over and over, but have so many different elements. Update him for the modern day. Have an old-timey person come in the modern day. Like, it's such a clever idea.
It's so cool.
For a workaround, you know?
I love it. I think it may even be one of my favorite just sci-fi concepts.
It's really cool.
And also, I think the TARDIS is my other favorite sci-fi concept because
looks like
it's a police box.
I was about to say a blue police box that you would have seen just in general, even if you don't know what Doctor Who is. You've seen the
TARDIS. Yeah, you've seen
There's
that.
No chance you haven't.
And if you haven't seen that, you've seen Tom Baker's scarf.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of really iconic elements that just everyone will know. Same as, like, certain things in Star Wars. You know, like the I am your father bit and everything. Spoilers for whoever doesn't know that.
Hang on, whose father?
Luke Skywalker is Darth Vader's father.
Oh my god, what?
It's crazy. What a reveal.
That is a twist.
Yeah. But after the original Doctor Who series ended in 1989, they then tried to revive it, like in 1996, with an American TV movie starring one Paul McGann. The movie's fine. I watched it the other night. It's not terrible, but it is not great either.
It didn't get great reviews though, did it? Because
no,
nothing
I don't
came
think
of
so.
it.
Yeah, nothing came of it. It went nowhere. It was supposed to like start a whole new series, but it's very American. Like, it does not feel like it felt like this is how I felt watching it. It felt like a cheesy classic Doctor Who episode, but it also felt more like stuff you would see for an American sort of sci-fi shows.
Is it the first time?
That makes sense.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but because isn't there a love story between the human companion? Oh yeah, the Doctor always travels around with a human companion.
Oh yes.
Well, sometimes an alien, but it's mostly human, mostly from London, sometimes from America.
Oh yeah, pretty much always just from London in the contemporary period that the show is set. Or Cardiff, yeah.
Yeah, is it the first time that the Doctor and a companion fall in love?
That's a good question.
I don't know if it's the first time, but it's definitely one of the more... Because that becomes a trope that is less than good.
It's a bad trope. Yeah, I don't know. He does fall in love with her. But I don't know if they like fall in love or if it's just kind of like they are together for like this night, saving the world, and it's like he has a lot of affection for her. I don't know if it's like they've fallen in love, but she doesn't go traveling with him at the end like he does go off on his own.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and I guess like good because then it never came back.
Then
But I
some.
love like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to move on, but no, if you've got more stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I love Paul McGann as the Doctor. I think that he was really well cast. He's got a brilliant costume, and his TARDIS is very cool. It's very different. Like most TARDIS interiors, like if you look this up, it's usually like a sort of spaceship looking room with like a big hexagonal control panel in the center. His is like it's got the control panel, but the whole room is like a 18th century drawing room or something. It's got like bookshelves and nice armchairs and everything. It is so pretty and so different.
I'm going to look it up quickly.
Yeah, go ahead. So there's just a lot of cool
weird.
concepts. Yeah, right. A lot of cool concepts that they played with.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so I think the movie's very middle of the road, but Paul McGann was great. He actually did come back recently in the. I say recently.
In the timeline, some wibbly wobbly weird stuff happens that I think we'll get back to.
Yeah, but yeah, they brought him in as like a just like a very short 6-minute episode with him to set up some other stuff, and it was great. I'm just like, I really want Paul McGann to get a 6-part miniseries. That's the hill that I die on when it comes to Doctor Who. He's great as the Doctor, and he deserves more. He does audio dramas though, which is cool. So after that movie, the show pretty much didn't come back until 2005 when they did like a modern reboot. There's a really fun piece of trivia about this, which I think will either scare you or you'll be glad that it didn't happen, basically. So Russell T Davies created the show in 2005, and for the BBC. It's always been the BBC, by the way. He basically has said that they didn't need to make it a sequel. They could have done like a proper reboot of the show, and they could have done whatever they wanted.
Oh.
So take that to mean the TARDIS could have been like a red British phone booth instead of the classic police box.
No, you got to keep the classic.
I know, that's what I think.
What a look.
But like they could have done that because there was nothing saying that they had to do like a proper sequel. They could have just gone and rebooted it from like a first Doctor and changed the TARDIS and everything. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Thank
so
God
I'm
they
glad
didn't.
that they, yeah, I agree. So I'm glad they made it a sequel. But yeah, since those original 7, the new Doctors have been Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, John Hurt, and Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker, who's really cool because she's the first female Doctor in 2018, I think it was.
That was the what we alluded to before, old grumpy man into younger lady.
Man into a young and quirky lady, and I have not seen any of her run except for the first episode. I'm working my way to it. I'm really keen.
Getting through. You're doing a big rewatch.
Yeah, and it's just been a great trip down like memory lane, and also experiencing new episodes and everything. Like it's been awesome. I've been loving it. And then they got David Bradley, who some of you may know from Harry Potter, played Filch. He got to come back. Well, he got to come and play the first Doctor in an episode with Peter Capaldi, which was really cool.
That's cute.
Yeah, and like you get to see his old TARDIS and everything.
And they look 1-to-1. Like it's
it is
wild.
an insane recreation of that costume and that look, and like you get the voice and all that stuff. It is just, it's crazy. It's also, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think, what did I say? Yeah, the 60th anniversary is coming in 2023, so get hyped for that. The show is also supermassive in America, and in 1965, in the 1960s, there was 2 films that came out, 2 Doctor Who films, starring Peter Cushing, called Doctor Who and the Daleks, and the other one was called The Dalek Invasion of Earth. These are really cool because they're classic Doctor Who episodes reimagined as like films.
Peter Cushing, aka Grand Moff Tarkin, if you don't know.
That's the one. Awesome actor. So these films are interesting because they're in color, and the original show is in black and white, and they use they exist in the canon of Doctor Who as fan films or something, or like Hollywood films or fan films that are made based on the Doctor's adventures, because he's like a massive universal celebrity basically, because he can travel anywhere in time and space and saves people, saves planets and everything. So it's this big celebrity on Earth in canon. So then there's films that exist of him. it's weird and interesting. But the films were alright. I watched them quite a bit as a kid. And then there's a bunch of spin-offs as well. So one of his companions, Sarah Jane Smith, she got a TV show, The Sarah Jane Adventures. His metal robot dog, K9, got a spin-off, apparently.
Again, if you don't know Doctor Who, what a sentence just to
Right.
his big metal robot dog got a show? Excuse me? What?
I should say yes. He has a robot dog called K9, and he's adorable and amazing. There's a show called Class, which is cool because I haven't seen it, but I think the concept is quite cool because it's set at the school that the Doctor's granddaughter goes to in the very first episode of the show.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah. And then there's Torchwood. Sorry about that. There's Torchwood, which is probably the most famous Doctor Who spin-off.
Featuring the very beautiful Captain Jack.
Captain Jack Harkness, famous character from the show. If you haven't watched it, if you haven't, why not? No, I mean, look, it's not for everyone. It is pretty bizarre sci-fi. But
fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. But yeah, Torchwood's great, and we were talking before the show. Jack hasn't seen it, and I highly recommend it.
But I saw the Sarah Jane Adventures, which was fine.
Just weird.
It was fine.
Apparently.
Because we could talk about Doctor Who history forever.
We could, yeah.
I'm going to limit you now.
Yeah, I think
you haven't mentioned a single classic Doctor Who villain.
I haven't.
So I'm going to limit you to the top 5.
Top
and a
5.
brief, 25 words or less about each.
Okay, so classic Doctor Who villains.
Yeah.
You got the Master, the Cybermen, the Daleks, Quarks, which I don't know anything about. They're just funny.
I'm going to move. The best. I shouldn't have said classic. I meant the best.
The best. So the best would be the Master, the Cybermen, and the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
so the Master
being
a fellow Time Lord.
Yeah, he's a fellow Time Lord. So he has all the same abilities as the Doctor. He's got a TARDIS as well. And
he's evil.
Yeah, he's just evil Doctor, and he often has a mustache that he can twirl.
He's played by a beautiful, beautiful man.
He's so over the top.
John Sim.
Oh yeah, he was John Sim. Yeah, I think his name was Ainsley Harry. That's
look, he's not beautiful, but John Sim. Whew.
John Sim was
what
great.
A guy.
Yeah. Ainsley Harriott is not who I was thinking of. We can edit this bit out.
I'm not gonna.
Let me look this up so that I don't look like an idiot.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about the Master a bit because
Anthony Ainley is the one. Just amazing, over the top performance.
Think of a traditional villain, like a stereotypical. Yeah. It's him. That's who you're looking at.
It's awesome. He's just goofy, big collar, big robes.
Good stuff.
Time travel. It's great. The Daleks.
Cybermen.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because Cybermen...
The Daleks are last, come on.
Yeah, Cybermen, robot warriors from outer space. They're basically people who kept upgrading themselves to the point where they were just robots.
And now they need to upgrade everyone else.
Now they need to upgrade everyone else because they believe that the universe isn't perfect until it's a world of steel. Very cool, maybe kind of overdone villain. I mean, the Daleks are overdone as well. The Master's probably overdone. They're probably all overdone. But
that's what happens to classic villains, really.
Yeah, and look, if you're listening and you're enjoying the sound of all this stuff, look up especially if you've only seen classic Doctor Who, so modern Doctor Who, look up the classic Cybermen designs. They are creepy as shit.
It's creepy,
they
but it's
are
bad.
Nightmare fuel. They're bad, but they're nightmare fuel.
It's 60s costumes with a $2 budget.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing.
Then the Daleks are the Doctor's biggest enemy?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, most famous. It's if you haven't ever seen Doctor Who, you've definitely seen the TARDIS, you've definitely seen Tom Baker, you've definitely seen Daleks. They look like a big dustbin or an R2-D2. But
a Roomba R2-D2.
Yeah, essentially.
Combine a Roomba and an R2-D2, done.
Yeah. They have guns and plungers, and they're cool.
Gun and the plunger's so good.
Yeah,
I love the plunger.
It's what is it used for? I think it's for interacting with things on their ships, but it just looks like they're there to clean the toilet and kill people.
There's that $4 budget. I think I said $2 last time. $2 for Cybermen, $2 for the Daleks.
Speaking of low budget, it's so funny if you look at the classic Doctor Who. when the Daleks were first introduced, they only had 4 Dalek shells. So they really had to make good use of them, because there's like a person inside driving the robot shell around. I say robot's got a little alien, but that's besides the point. They would drive them around, and the sets are hilarious. Like, it's all matte paintings, and then like 3 walls, like 3 silver corridors, and just as few Daleks as possible, because they were expensive to produce. Daleks are cool though. They're essentially like space fascists, and they believe that everything is inferior to the Daleks. They only have hate inside them, and they want to destroy everything and rule the universe with only Daleks. And they're sometimes
and they love
terrifying.
To scream, exterminate, exterminate.
Exactly. Yeah. I was gonna say they're sometimes terrifying, sometimes not. I think they're terrifying for kids.
They're pretty spooky.
But yeah, that'd be top 3 most famous and most popular Doctor Who villains, probably.
Well, he's also been in a bunch of video games.
Oh my god! What are the Doctor Who video games?
Well, the first one was Doctor Who The Adventure. The First Adventure, my mistake.
Okay.
Now, with the title Doctor Who The First Adventure, what Doctor would you assume is in it?
I would assume that it would be following William Hartnell, the first Doctor.
No, it's the 5th Doctor.
Really?
Peter Davison has the...
I thought you were going to say Tom Baker, to be honest.
No. Well, this is the first official one.
Okay.
There might have been fan-made ones with different ones, but no, the first Doctor Who game features the 5th one, Peter Davison.
When did it come out?
It came out in 1983.
Wow.
Which is... yeah, just weird.
Yeah. Okay. What did it look like?
Not good. It looked like a game from 1983. It was like one of those, find your way out of the maze, kind of like Pac-Man-y, that kind of stuff.
And it's called Doctor Who, The First Adventure.
The First Adventure. Next one was in 1985. Again, pretty bad. Doctor Who and the Warlord.
Oh, these look ugly.
Yeah, they're not good, huh?
I hate old games.
I'm going to skip past some of the older ones because who cares, let's be honest.
I agree.
Dalek Attack, that's a weird one. It looks... what is... oh, it's like a point and click, I think.
Oh, wild.
It was 1992, Commodore 64, Atari, that kind of stuff. The box art is incredible.
They sure... like, that's like old games, so like...
yeah.
They always had to have good box art, because otherwise how do you sell the game? Can't sell it on bloody pixel art.
Oh god, no. And then the one that you seem to play for the PC, Doctor Who Destiny of the Doctors, 1997. You wanted to talk about that quickly?
I'll just do a quick little talk about it. It's a... I was going to say famous. I have no idea how famous or well-known this game is among Doctor Who fans. I played it as a child, and at that point it was already several years old, but it's like... you play as this character called Grark. I have no idea if they have any relevance in the lore, but all of the Doctors have been captured by the Master, and you have to... it's like... you're pretty much on the TARDIS. You get to like send the TARDIS to different time periods, and you basically fight a bunch of classic enemies trying to rescue the Doctor, like each incarnation. It's cool though, because when you like say you want to go and fight like Cybermen, you have to select the Doctor who fights, like who was famous with the Cybermen or whatever, and then you have to avoid Cybermen in the TARDIS, and then go out and do a puzzle, and then go and rescue the Doctor from some mission or whatever. It's all in first person. It really played into the idea that the TARDIS is what they call dimensionally transcendental. That's like why it's bigger on the inside and why it's like infinite on the inside, and it's like the corridors changed and everything. So you would like go through a door, then when you go back through it would be a different space.
Your nerd is showing, by the way.
My nerd is showing like crazy. I know more about this than I thought I did.
Here's a little trivia early on. Dustin never had sex, I'm gonna guess, from this. My god.
I missed everything you just said.
That's probably good. You'll listen back to that and you'll get a nice little surprise.
Oh, no.
Moving on.
I think I know what you were talking about. Yes, so... big nerd. Yeah, it was a really cool game. I loved playing it as a kid. I've never finished it, but yeah, it was cool. Anyways, what are the other games?
Well, actually, I have a little bit of sad trivia about this game that's real and not just a joke.
Oh.
Anthony Ainley?
Yes.
This was his last time as the Master.
It was, indeed, yes.
Reprise his role for the Master for the final time. In this denofgeek.com article, I should probably shout them out. That's where I'm getting all the Doctor Who games from.
That's pretty awesome, though, considering like that he actually came back to play the Master almost a decade after the show had ended, and who knows how long.
And it was a great FMV, like, classic 90s.
Yeah.
So then, much like the show, after that, Doctor Who games just were gone for a while.
That's understandable.
About 11 years until Top Trump's Doctor Who, which I don't think counts as a game, so we're going to move on.
Not a video game. Top Trumps is like cards, right?
Yeah. Little bad, dumb cards.
Yeah, I remember seeing them everywhere. I don't know what the point of them was.
Then we had a bunch of games based on Matt Smith era of Doctor Who.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The 11th Doctor.
That would line up, wouldn't it?
The next one was, let me find out. The first one was Doctor Who. Oh, there was like a Flash game, but yeah, I'm gonna just skip past that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where is it? I've lost them. Oh no.
Oh,
it only goes up to there. Never mind. Hang on. So there was like one for the PlayStation. There was one for the Wii. There was one for the DS.
What was the name of this game?
There were a bunch of them.
Oh right, okay.
There were a whole stinking lot of them. So there was the Eternity Clock. That was the PlayStation 3 one. I'm very glad because in the reception I get to mention obscure ABC being Australian Broadcasting Corporation video game series Good Game, because I love Good Game.
Did they talk about it?
They talked about them. I think they had a big Doctor Who episode because a bunch of Doctor Who games came out.
Holy crap, this looks awful.
This one got 3.5 out of 20 because, there's two reviewers, so one must have rated it 1, the other one rated it 1.5.
Is this the Eternity Clock? Yeah, I just saw it has 2 out of 10 on Eurogamer.
It's not good. There was Evacuation Earth on the DS. Once again, I'm just going to mention Good Game. A 3 out of 10 and a 2 out of 10.
Oh my god. Did they get, like, Matt Smith and everything?
Yeah, they have Matt Smith and Karen Gillan.
Wow.
We had the Mazes of Time. That was the iOS one. That looks kind of shit. They all look kind of shit. And then Doctor Who Return to Earth, which is one that I bought.
Oh.
Good game. Once again, Stephanie Bendixson and Gus Goose. Where's his name? I forget his last name. But they're great. They're in back pocket now. It's good. Good game. What a show.
I used to play... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Just a 1 and a 1.5 out of 10. Saying it's one of the worst games I've ever played. And you know what? I can attest to that. I owned the Doctor Who Wii game, and it was fucking rough. I remember there being a glitch, like in level 3, and then I couldn't finish it.
Right. So, I used to just go on my PC, like on my parents' computer, and look up Doctor Who games, and there were some fun Doctor Who Flash games.
Not this one.
It was one based on that episode Dalek, where you control the Dalek and you have to break out a facility, and like...
I think I played that!
You probably played it.
Games,
It was so cool. And then there was one where you control like a blimp and have to rescue people during the Cyberman attack.
Yep, I remember playing that too. Oh,
that was sick. So Doctor Who is only good in the 90s in gaming and as Flash games.
Recently, there has been a VR game.
Bunch again, yeah. What's that
Doctor
called?
Who: The Edge of Time.
That's the one.
It's got mixed reviews on Steam. It's VR. You like run around. It looks fine.
Do you play as the Doctor in all of these, presumably?
I don't know. Team up with the Doctor.
Do you get
You get to pilot the TARDIS.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I just looked up. Yeah, it's like 94% of Google users like this game. 6 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah. It's Jodie Whittaker, so the 13th
cool.
Doctor one.
The graphics look alright.
They look fine. And now there's 2 more games coming out this year, question mark. Might be delayed.
I think that one of them might be a mobile game.
The first one is a mobile game, The Lonely Assassins, based on my favourite villain, kind of, until they're not, the Weeping Angels. It's apparently going to be like a found phone game. So you're unravelling a sinister series of events that takes place at West Drumlands. from the best episode of Doctor Who.
Oh,
Blink.
so it's like set during that
I think
episode
so,
or
yeah.
something. Okay, that should be good then, right? Like presumably.
Could be. Second one's a console game, Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality.
Is this another VR one?
No, that's just a regular PC and console one.
Oh.
And starring Jodie Whittaker and a returning David Tennant. He's going to be in it.
That gets me really excited. The only thing that I wouldn't want, I mean, I haven't watched the Jodie Whittaker era, but I hate the interior of her TARDIS. So I would rather explore something like, I think, Matt Smith's TARDIS or Peter Capaldi's
or David
TARDIS
Tennant.
is great. Or David Tennant's TARDIS is pretty cool.
We should mention, because we got to, what's your favourite Doctor?
My favourite Doctor is, it's hard to say. I'm probably, at the moment, having just done a big watch through up till Peter Capaldi's start, this is controversial, I'm leaning towards Matt Smith. I just love his energy and his personality.
You're incorrect.
But obviously the fan favourite is David Tennant, who I love.
And the correct choice.
And yeah, like you'll say, the correct choice. I really love David Tennant. I think his episodes are much better. But I also think that there's just something about the way that, like, just Matt Smith, I just love his, I call it like a childlike fascination with the universe. I think it's awesome. And he's just fun. But David Tennant has probably got better stories.
That's what's great about Doctor Who, is that you can have a favourite and they're all pretty valid.
Yeah, they're all pretty awesome.
Like, you can pick, oh, my favourite is this one, and I made a joke that you're wrong, but, like, it's fine. You can believe that. You are incorrect, but it's okay.
It's like it's so interesting. And then there's obviously classic Doctors as well. Like, Tom Baker would probably be a favourite classic of mine.
I think it's Tom Baker and David Tennant seem to be the two favourites.
Yeah. And then I think John Pertwee I used to love a lot as well. But that's like who I grew up with the most, would have been, like, because when they put it all back on TV, like, they were just running it all on the ABC. The stuff that we saw the most of was Tom Baker and a lot of John Pertwee as well. So it's just, I'm very familiar with those two. So yeah, Tom Baker was just awesome. You know, offering people jelly babies and all that, and his big scarf and his hat.
Classic scarf. Should we go on to video game news now? A little bit of game break news break.
What's happened in gaming news this week?
Well,
Jack?
I want to talk about it first because it's for me and it's only for me. It's not. There's many people. Some of you may know, anime is not for me. For some reason, I just don't like it. It's not. I've watched a few. I've watched some of the classics.
Anime.
I just don't like it. It's fine. I just don't like it. Except there is one exception. There's one beautiful exception. I don't know why, but Persona. Oh my god, I love it so much. I hate turn-based combat too. It's not something I like. Pokemon, not for me that much.
Yeah, but
Persona is turn-based combat and anime, and I love it so much. And they've kind of announced the new one.
when you say kind of, is it just like we're working on another Persona game or something?
So it's a 25th anniversary website. I think it's going to be the 25th anniversary soon. Because I think Persona 5 was the 20th anniversary.
Right.
And they've got, like, all of the games in order. Like, in images. Like, Persona came out this time. Persona 2 came out this time. And then 2 secret.
Okay.
So it's like posters, and then 2 that just say the word secret after Persona 5 Royal.
Okay.
Same with they've got all the protagonists of the games, and then all of a sudden, after Persona 5's protagonist, there's just a secret empty option.
Interesting.
It's like, ooh, okay, something's coming.
Okay.
So
either they're doing like a big series remake, or they're gonna do a sequel.
They're gonna do each game is like standalone.
Yeah.
So it'll be a new character, new set of world, everything.
Okay.
Which is always exciting.
That's exciting.
I mean, there's always callbacks to the old. I think
that's
on one
weird
of
that
them...
I did not hear anything about that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I didn't hear about it until a friend sent it to me. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the best. So I can't wait for that. That's exciting for Jack.
That's cool. Well, exciting for me is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has its 10th anniversary this year. And it's released today. They've brought out a Switch remaster. It looks pretty awesome. I'm going to do my best to pick up a copy because I'm really excited to play it because it's one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm gonna say a
Like, yeah, that's
universally not really liked Zelda game.
I think it's a universally mixed Zelda game.
Yeah.
Um, it the thing is though, if you bloody hate it, you're wrong because you probably also like Breath of the Wild, and it is the pioneering
Oh,
game for all the Breath of the Wild stuff, such as degrading shields and stamina, stuff like that. And
degrading shields, the worst part of Breath of the Wild.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like how aggressive it is, but yeah, it's like Skyward Sword set up a lot of things that went on to make what a lot of people call the greatest Zelda game. And plus, I'm only joking. If you don't like Skyward Sword, you cannot like Skyward Sword. It's perfectly okay. You're wrong, but it's perfectly okay. I love it. I think it's fantastic. The ending gets me.
I'll probably give it a go.
Yeah, you can always borrow my copy.
And the last bit of news is kind of on the Switch.
There's sort of two bits of news, but we'll do this.
Oh, is there
we'll
two
do
bits?
this weird.
Oh,
well,
I'm
there's
sorry.
the thing about Netflix. We'll just quickly do the thing about Netflix. Apparently, Netflix wants to get into game streaming. Sure.
You go for it, dude.
Why not?
Everyone
I thought
loves
that they
their Google
did it
Stadia.
with Bandersnatch.
We both went for two jokes making fun of them, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Bandersnatch
Google
was okay.
Stadia. I love Google Stadia.
We all
Said
love
no
it
one
because we
ever.
all bought one. It's going super well. I like that you have to pay a subscription and then also pay for the
And
games
also
on top
pay
of
for
that.
games. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine you sign up for Netflix, and then and then you have to pay for movies.
Oh, like Disney Plus?
Yeah, but at least they're new movies.
Yeah.
At least, and it's kind of look. I don't want to be all like, look how good Disney is. It's not a terrible deal, but it's also not a good deal either. I don't think. I think that $35 is a little bit steep, but
I think it's steep if you live on your own.
exactly. That's what I was going to say. If you're watching it with like 6 to 8 people or something, or even just 6 people, it's worth it because you've already saved $100 in movie tickets.
When I'm sitting down with my partner thinking, oh, should we watch Black Widow? And then it's like $30 to $35 when I could see it in a cinema for the same price with a much bigger, better screen.
Exactly.
It's a hard bargain.
Are you going to watch Black Widow?
I don't know. I've heard mixed things. I've already listened to all the spoilers, so like maybe, maybe not.
My brief review would be I would wait for it to be free on Disney Plus in like 2 months. Or
Will
whatever it is.
do.
I didn't love it. I won't get into why because it's just come out and spoilers and stuff. But you know, it's fine. Yeah. So Netflix is doing that. Good luck, Netflix. All power to you.
How good? Good luck.
Might work. And yeah, let's talk about Valve. What did Valve do?
They made a Switch.
They made a Switch.
They made a Switch that doesn't
Literally.
switch. They made a Switch Lite.
You know that it's not because they said that they're bringing out a what's the thing? A dock for it. They're bringing out a dock that will be sold separately. Yeah, you'll be able to dock it.
Okay, they made a Switch then.
It's literally a Switch that's a PC. It's like a handheld PC. They're calling it the Valve Steam Deck. By the way, I looked up Steam Deck, and the first thing that came up was, "Did you mean Stream Deck?" So this is hot news. Yeah, so they've announced that. By the way, we're recording Friday, so that's
hot news for us.
Yeah, I think it got announced like a couple of weeks ago, but it's been revealed to like there's like IGN has got a video out talking about it and everything. I think it looks alright. The graphics are okay. I mean, it is a handheld. The Switch hasn't exactly got the best graphics, so it's like can't talk. But yeah, looks like it'll be cool.
It's probably fine.
Out yeah, I think it'll be okay. I'm not going to get one because I can't afford it. But it's coming out in December, but not in Australia. So if you're listening in Australia, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
So
yeah, it'll be cool. If you can, it'll be like I guess the first time you can play like PC games on the go, which is quite remarkable.
It'll be I wonder how well it'll do.
Yeah,
because I just don't know.
I think that it's gonna have. I was gonna say I think when it comes out. Maybe people will finally be able to get the PlayStation 5 because there'll be something new to go and sell out of. But I also know like Nintendo has like really good marketing for the Switch, and the Switch is great for families and everything. This is very much a solo unit for one person.
For a big nerd like us.
For a big nerd, yeah. But it's like I would rather probably, in my case, I'm just going to save up and eventually get a PC. So I don't think I'll.
Yeah, no, fair.
I don't think I'll invest. Not straight away, but it is very cool. Like, it's a cool concept.
Like, we've got big Virgin Energy, but maybe not that much.
Whoa, that's true. He's out of line. But he's right. Thank you, Falcon. Alright, well, moving on, because I think that's all the gaming news. It's
I reckon so.
Pretty interesting week. Let's talk about game pitches.
Doctor Who game pitch.
Take it away.
Yeah, you've done the last few pitches first. I don't remember why.
I'm frustrated because I don't like talking for long stretches of time. You're the host after all, so...
We're both the host, it's fine. I just introduce it. So.
You introduce it and then shut up. No.
Yeah, I introduce it, shut up, and let you talk about Doctor Who for like 20 minutes?
It's been a long time. Leah, let's hear your game pitch. What's it about?
Doctor Who game. Doctor Who is not about combat. So I wanted to avoid that immediately.
Right.
Doctor Who rarely ever throws a punch. He's about using his mind and usually a hell of a lot of Deus Ex Machinas to solve problems.
True.
I took inspiration from like your Portal, that kind of like puzzler. What's the other one? Not Superliminal, but that kind of like puzzler game.
Okay. I don't know what Superliminal is, but yeah, sure.
Is that one? Did you see like you pick up an item and depending on the perspective of it, it grows or?
Oh, okay. So I haven't played Superliminal, but I've played another game like it called MacLeod, which is like a puzzle game, and you've got a miniature version of the world you're in, and you can put items in that to shrink them or take items out of it to enlarge them.
That's cute.
But then you're actually just in a you're just like the regular sized world around you is just on a table as well, and around that is a bigger version and a bigger version. It's a trippy game.
That sounds really cool, and I want to play that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I took inspiration from that game, and I want to combine it with like a Way Out or It Takes Two.
Ooh.
So I would want it to be a co-op adventure puzzler.
Right.
So yeah, pretty much like I haven't seen much of It Takes Two, but that kind of thing.
That game looks gorgeous. Just saying. Sorry.
No, you're fine. There'd be no combat. You could maybe stun villains, like you'd have Daleks and Cybermen and shit. You can stun them, but you can never really fight them. It's all about running away and trying to figure out how to trap them.
Leave the fighting up to the people with the guns, as the Doctor would probably say.
Yeah. Using the environment to your advantage, so I would say that the Doctor would have his screwdriver and a lot of like more ranged techie devices.
What's he gonna do with a screwdriver, Jack?
His sonic screwdriver, which is
my god,
do anything device. It's really
a do anything device. Yeah.
Do you want this sonic screwdriver to unlock a door? Yeah, sure, go for it. Do you want it to be able to hack into the most powerful computer ever? It sure can. It's great.
The only thing it can't do is wood, because apparently it's too primitive.
I'm sure it's done wood, though.
Pretty sure everything in that show that's not alien tech is too primitive, but anyways. Yeah, okay. So
and then you play as like the Doctor and the Companion. I probably should have mentioned that. Yeah. Companion would have a lot more of like the physical. They'd be able to move stuff around because the Doctor's not really a physical guy.
No, he's not.
He runs a lot, or she, I should say. They run a lot, but they don't really do much. So the Companion would be more about the physical actions, the moving boxes and shit like that.
Yeah.
So you'd each have, depending on who you picked, you'd have a different experience, you know?
Right. That'd be really cool.
You'd have the TARDIS as like a hub, and different levels would be like different adventures you're going on.
Would you be piloting the TARDIS?
No.
Okay, cool.
I think it would just be a hub world, and you go up to the console and you pick where you want to go. It does the ooh, as a loading screen.
Plays some music, does some time vortex stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
makes the noise.
Yeah.
By the way, if you've never seen Doctor Who and you're still listening, look up the TARDIS noise. It's the greatest sound in science fiction.
Pretty great.
Sorry.
Oh,
Continue.
a lightsaber. I think a lightsaber's better.
Oh, hot topic for another day.
That. Vroom, vroom. There's nothing like a vroom. So good.
Yeah, but the TARDIS like the woo.
I was worried that this episode was going to devolve into sound
effects. Look up the clip on your free time of Matt Smith's, like, the scene where, like, the 11th Doctor makes the TARDIS noise. It's the funniest thing. I then saw somebody took that noise that he makes with his mouth and then put it over the actual TARDIS landing and taking off. It is so good. Alright, sorry, continue.
No, you're fine. There'd be moments where you're, like, separated from each other and you gotta make your way back to each other.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I want it to be a different experience for whoever you play as. Whether it be the companion or the Doctor.
I really like that in games, so I'm sold.
There'd be different, like... So there might be the Weeping Angels, and their whole thing is if you stop staring at them... Anytime that... I'm explaining this so poorly. Anytime you look at an angel, it is frozen. The moment you look away and no one's looking at it, then it can attack.
It can move and it's super fast, and I won't get into the nerdy aspect of it.
It's real creepy until it's not.
Until it's not.
But yeah, like you'd have different enemies and they'd have different ways to beat them or defeat them. So you might have a puzzle where one of you has to be staring at the angel.
Right.
While the other does something, then the other one has to come up and the Doctor has to do something, then the Doctor has to run back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Okay, yeah, okay. No, that just clicked with how that would work.
Yeah, and you'd have different puzzles that maybe you have to do something at the same time, so you have to do it really quickly because the angel's going to get you like that.
Oh, that'd be sick.
The one thing that I would... Oh, sorry, you go.
Would this game be first person or third person?
I, at first, thought first person. But then, an aspect that I really want would only truly work in third person.
Right.
And that is... And I'm shocked it hasn't been used before. I get it. I get that you want to play as iconic people. Make your own Doctor and companion.
Ooh!
I want it to be customizable. I want you to be able to express yourself however you want as your own Doctor. Maybe you have a couple of, like, presets that are the Doctors. If you want to play as a David Tennant Doctor, then yeah, they are an option.
I'd totally be down for that, because that just really works into the lore. The Doctor can literally turn into anyone.
Yeah.
So
they can turn into you. You can make your own Doctor.
That'd be awesome.
And similar to... you could choose your gender, whether it be male, female, other, doesn't matter. Goes for both the Doctor and the companion.
Be so cool.
And online, like, you can play this with random people, and then they get to see your Doctor.
Ooh, that'd be really cool.
Or your companion. So
okay, I like that.
Jump into a random game with someone, and you've got a unique Doctor and companion pretty much every time.
That'd be so cool.
Pick their costume, pick whatever you want.
That's sick.
And similar to Jedi Fallen Order, and their beautiful lightsaber customization, making your own sonic screwdriver.
Bro.
Picking the color, picking whatever you want. Yeah, right? Did that.
This would be sick. Yeah, that gets me all sorts of excited.
That's why I want it to be third person, so you can see your...
So you can see all that. Well, in first person, you better see the screwdriver. But yeah, if you want to see, you got to see your creation. Although with the with ray tracing, you'll be able to see yourself in mirrors.
I don't know what the companion would have, but you'd have something to customize for them.
Yeah. The only reason I ask about first person is I played this horror game with a Weeping Angel type enemy in it, and the game had a blink mechanic where if you held your eyes open, like if you didn't press the spacebar or whatever it was to blink, eventually your eyes would close, like you would get eye strain and everything. Right. I'm like, that would be something really cool in first person. You could do it in third person, but you would have less of the cool visuals of it. And that would just be such a creepy experience against Weeping Angels in first person.
Well, I think because they're only one aspect of the game.
Right.
I wouldn't... Maybe you have a mechanic just for that level.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, because you'd be facing off against different enemies. Maybe Sontarans, the potato people, whatever you want. So yeah, that would be my game, like a puzzler co-op.
I like it.
I'm shocked they haven't had a make your own Doctor yet.
I'm shocked that there's not really big budget Doctor Who games.
There's not that many
general.
Doctor Who games at all. Going through the list, I was shocked at how little there were.
Yeah, because it seems like something that's perfect for video games. Yeah, I really like your game. Would you have a name in mind? Would it just be called Doctor Who, or?
I didn't really think of a name. I'm always bad with the names.
That's fair. You are a bit.
Aww.
I think that it's also something interesting, like, sort of going back to what we talked about with, like, the regeneration and stuff. The show is called Doctor Who, and it's perfect for the nature of the show, and it's unintentional as well, the fact that they regenerate. So it's like, Doctor Who is it, you could say. It's like, it can be anyone. That's like a running thing throughout the show. They're always like, the Doctor Who. But it's like, it makes it even more meaningful in your game, where you design your own.
I'll call it Doctor
like
You. There you go.
Oh, no!
The worst possible name. Doctor You.
Dr. Wii U, because it comes out on the Wii U.
And only the Wii U.
Yeah, that's...
Dr. Wii U.
Oh, no. Moving on. Yeah, I like this game a lot. It sounds really cool.
Thank you. Do you have a name? What would you call it?
It'd just be like... It'd be called the Doctor and their companion doing time and space shit, maybe Weeping Angels.
I love it. Perfect
good name.
Rolls off the tongue.
It really does, right? Imagine that on the box. And so you can sell it to kids, shit would have like an asterisk in it instead of S-H-I.
Naturally.
S-H-I-T. Yeah, you'd have it.
Doctor Who doesn't swear, come on.
Nah, they don't.
I did the cardinal sin of calling him Doctor Who instead of the Doctor, and I can see someone listening to that and going, "Oh, go fucked."
But get this. The casting, when you watch the credits on the original show, it says Doctor Who, William Hartnell.
Ah.
Character was listed as Doctor Who.
That's funny.
There you go. That's the Doctor's name, everybody. Would you like to hear my game idea?
I mean, look, no, but I'll let you go for it.
That's all good.
End of the podcast. I'm done.
So I've thought this for ages. Now, Lego Dimensions has done this as an add-on, but I think
that's the Lego Dimensions. Hang on, what's Lego Dimensions?
It's like a Lego game with a whole bunch of different stuff in it. I think
that's the one with like the similar to Skylanders and shit. Buy your own packs to add on to the game.
Yeah,
the money laundering one.
So they've done Doctor Who, but I think that Traveller's Tales should make a pure Doctor Who game, because I think that Doctor Who is perfect for... This is what I said when I wrote my pitch. I said it's perfect for the light-hearted whimsy of Lego.
So you would do a full Doctor Who Lego game?
Absolutely. It would be like pick, a whole bunch of different classic stories and modern Doctor Who stories and everything. You can play them in whatever order you want. It doesn't matter. It's time travel. You would have all the Doctors playable. All the TARDISes would be playable as well. Like, you would have all the different interiors. I would go for like fully explorable TARDIS, like with all the different rooms and stuff that they talk about. It'd be super cool. Sort of tie into that whole aspect of it being infinite and being able to change and everything. That would just be a fun hub world to explore.
Fuck yeah.
The main thing would be just sort of experience your favorite classic Doctor Who stories, famous Doctor Who stories in Lego form. The way any Lego game works. It's not particularly original. I just think it'd be great for Doctor Who. I just think it's a great sort of marriage of the two. You could use the sonic screwdriver in the same way that like wands are used in the Harry Potter Lego game. That's like for your building and everything, and for puzzles and stuff. You can have it be 2-player, so you have the Doctor and the companion. Like I said, it's not like an original concept. It is just make Traveller's Tales, make a Lego Doctor Who game. But I also thought it'd be really cool because you have all the different unlockable characters and races, like really all the different species. Yeah, you'd be able to like. I thought that this would be cool. The new Lego Star Wars game has all the different planets from Star Wars, and you can visit them in the different eras of the movies, and they're different. So say you go to
if
Earth,
that ever comes out.
If that ever comes out, hopefully. So say you go to Earth in this Doctor Who game, and you go in the 1960s, you could have it all be black and white, and it be the William Hartnell era. And then if you go back in the David Tennant era, then it's all colourful, and it's David Tennant and everything. I just think that would be cool, and have that be determined by like which Doctor you're playing, or just like the time travel stuff. When you're traveling to different locations, you can have like a time vortex flying minigame. So that would be, so then you get to like pilot the TARDIS. It's time travel, you can do whatever you want. I'm waving my arms around, this gets me really excited. Have like different planets, like go to Earth, go to Gallifrey, go to the planet of the Daleks, Skaro. Go to like classic places like the Planet of the Giants. I can't remember what it was actually called, but they go to a planet where everything's giant. So like do all that different stuff.
That's key. I really like that.
Yeah,
I like how
that's my game.
I like how your one is very much a celebration of Doctor Who history.
Right.
Like you get to play as every Doctor. And mine's like the Doctor Who you make your own. Like it's
yours
the future.
is a celebration of like the legacy, what it could be, which I think is cool.
It's interesting. I think it's cool we went for two like similar-ish games, both co-op, both like puzzle kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you focus very much on the history. And I was like,
Just
what about
like
make your
being
own?
in love with Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. For no other game would I just say get someone to do it and do their thing. But for Doctor Who, I just like every time I think about what I want in a Doctor Who game that isn't like a specific thing like a Weeping Angel horror game, I'm always like Lego. I just think it's so perfect. And you've got all like such great options for physical comedy as well, like Lego is famous for. I would bring back the grunts, I reckon, or higher voice actors. Yeah, the grunts would be so good. But it's
and
like
you have so much archival footage to just grab a little like, ooh.
Exactly. And the TARDIS sound would be front and center because you're constantly flying around.
Maybe a little allons-y.
Literally, and like maybe not Geronimo, but like I just think it'd be so cool. But like there's such, like we talked about Doctor Who enemies, there's some goofy 60s costuming stuff going on. The Daleks, for example, they're a big like pot shaped thing. Physical stuff with stairs, getting them pushed downstairs. You got quarks, which are really, really little and just hilarious looking, make a really funny noise. That would be great for comedy stuff.
I haven't seen quarks. What do quarks look like?
Just look them up. They're weird. They made this annoying noise in the Destiny of the Doctors game.
Don't do quarks.
But they're like these little green. I think they're green.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're small.
The little gonk droids.
Yeah, essentially. And they make this weird noise. And I just think they'd be funny. Lots of options, like I said, for physical comedy. And I want it. And the thing is, like, as Lego games are often filled with like lots of Easter eggs and just fun unlockables and stuff, you would have all that on display for like different time periods and different enemies and all that kind of stuff. And you could do, there's been a lot of Doctor Who. Doctor Who's been around for nearly 60 years. There's a lot of stuff you could do. This could be a very big Lego game. But I want it.
I like it a lot.
I really want it, and I could just ramble about it for ages. But yeah, this is, I think, one of the few times where I would just say, Traveller's Tales, make Doctor Who into a game, and do it like this. Like,
do it, please.
Yeah, I have nothing else. If I was to pitch an actual game, like I said, probably Weeping Angel horror game, but I want to Lego Doctor Who.
This is the game you want? This is the
game I want. I want this right now, more than anything.
Maybe, depending on the genre we get for the Wheel of Genres.
Ooh.
You know?
So, that's my pitch. Shall we talk about some little bits of Doctor Who trivia?
Let's get a little bit of trivia.
Because there's some interesting and maybe weird stuff.
What is there not?
Okay, so we've talked about how Daleks can't do stairs. You know, they fall downstairs and things. This is a very famous like, what are you going to do against? Like, what's a Dalek going to do when you get on the stairs? Because it is like it has wheels or whatever, rolls around on the ground.
They made a joke about it in the 2005 in the reboot.
Did.
Of like they were trying to escape a Dalek. They ran upstairs and were like, "What you gonna do now,
what you
idiot?"
gonna do, Dalek? So in 1988, an episode or an arc at least of Doctor Who called Remembrance of the Daleks defeated the stairs for the first time. They were revealed to have upgraded in some way, and they could now fly. So like the Dalek levitates up the stairs, and then they bring that back in the reboot as well.
I was going to say they made a big deal about it.
Make a very big deal. Yeah, as a child, man, that was like the most wild thing I think I'd ever seen at the time. Like a Dalek flying.
Oh my god, the scariest thing I've ever seen.
It is just an incredible, like, it's a great scene. It's cheesy now, but like, Yeah, the Dalek stops at the bottom of the stairs, looks up, and the guy's like, "How? What's she gonna do?" or whatever. And then it just slowly rises up, and the Dalek goes, "Elevate!" and then like rises up and
Screaming elevate is great.
starts killing them. I'm like, this is awesome. We already talked about. So Jodie Whittaker was the first female Doctor. Super cool, big moment.
Some people hated it because they're terrible people. And they're sexist
terrible.
motherfuckers, and they can get fucked.
And they suck.
If you don't like it because of the writing, sure, whatever, don't care. If you don't like it because she's a woman, fuck off.
Such a weird thing to get upset about. Like, Doctor can literally be anyone, and in, like, canon prior to that, Time Lords had regenerated as women, and it's fine. Makes sense.
They did it with the Master. She became Missy the Mistress, right?
Yeah. She's just rocked up as well in my rewatch with Capaldi.
Oh, spoilers, maybe. Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like the 90s. Late 90s, there was a, like, for charity episode, like comic relief, called Doctor Who, The Curse of Fatal Death.
What excellent casting.
Yeah, excellent casting. So basically the Doctor like dies several times in like the space of a minute. So they just go through all these famous British actors playing the Doctor.
But the main one,
Rowan
Atkinson,
aka
Mr. Bean, as the Doctor.
Yeah.
What incredible casting.
Like, that's great casting. I want that now. He could still do it. He's old, but he could do it.
Okay, no, but what would your... So there's rumours that Jodie Whittaker's going to leave.
Yes.
This season, I think? Or
I think
next?
I think this new season is her third season, so...
Yeah. Usually they last about 2 or 3 seasons in the modern era.
Unless Christopher Eccleston.
Sad times.
But yeah,
Who would be your ideal...
My ideal Doctor. Let me
fan
think
casting.
about this. I really, really want the famous and amazing Richard Ayoade to play the Doctor.
He'd be so good.
From the IT crowd. And
he would be so perfect.
He's in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, but he's done much more than Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. He's famous for the IT crowd.
He did a movie too, Submarine.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
He directed it. Oh, it's really good.
I've got his book called Ayoade on Ayoade. I've been meaning to listen to that.
I was going to say I've got that on audiobook as well. I keep meaning to.
Nice. Because he reads it, and I'm like, this sounds like it'll be an incredible experience.
But like looking at pictures of Richard Ayoade, he is the Doctor.
He's literally the Doctor. He's got silly hair, and he's got silly outfits.
I love him.
And I'm like, that would... Because that's the other thing with the Doctor. He's always got like a weird sort of costume thing going on. Not always, but most of the time he's got like a funny or a silly classic outfit. It's always great, and that's just something I'd love. With Richard Ayoade, he would just so perfectly fit into that role, I think.
So originally, just as an aside,
you go.
I was thinking Matt Berry.
Oh, so good.
Because I love Matt Berry, Douglas Renham from the IT crowd as well. Just IT crowd actors, fucking who cares?
Yeah, pretty much. And then we'll get Chris O'Dowd as a companion.
Oh, absolutely. But having Richard Ayoade's Doctor and then Matt Berry as the Master...
Oh, man.
As a, like, mustache-twirling villain.
So cool.
I would love that more than anything.
I want this.
Richard Ayoade is the best casting, though. There's getting better.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, there's this whole perception of Richard Ayoade that he's just this socially awkward dude. But, like, he's not. He's really intelligent. And, like, he is a little bit socially awkward. And it's funny. Like, he is just such an amazing person. Not to say that social awkwardness is funny, but he's an amazing, quirky person.
He makes it funny.
Yeah, he's this amazing, quirky person, and would just fit so perfectly, I think, into that role of an alien trying to fit, like, blend in with humans.
Oh, I haven't seen him act, and maybe give him a couple of years in case he needs it. But James Acaster would be another excellent Doctor Who, I think.
Who's this? James who?
James Acaster.
James Acaster.
Look him up. I think you would have seen clips of him. He's really big for that the British Bake Off meme of like started making it, had a mental breakdown, bon appetit.
Okay, I've not seen it, but yeah, he definitely he has a Doctor look to him.
He's very similar to Richard Ayoade, I would say, in that like awkward humor.
See, when I look at him, I'm getting Matt Smith vibes, but I've never seen
That's fair
him
enough.
as I don't know what his personality is like, but just like all the photos, I'm like, yeah, Matt Smith vibes. who
He's got a weird delivery, and he's a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll check him out.
I'll send you some. It's good.
But yeah, then another person. So my brother always says that he'd love to see Adrian Lester as a Doctor. I'm like, that'd be cool. I don't know.
I don't know who that is. So,
if you've ever watched famous British TV show Hustle,
I have not.
It's about like people doing cons and stuff. He's the lead in that. I think he would probably be an interesting Doctor. Yeah. I could see him as quite a serious Doctor, whereas Richard Ayoade would definitely be like quite a fun and quirky Doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my sort of prime pick. The only person I can think of in the role is Richard Ayoade. Would be awesome, or Olivia Colman as well. I think she would be really good.
Olivia Colman would be good.
Yeah, she'd be awesome. There's a whole lot of people. What's his
There's been rumours surrounding Adrian Lester as Doctor Who.
Ooh, okay.
It's not
interesting.
It's not nothing.
Well, there's rumours about Ollie Alexander, who I don't know anything about. Don't like his hair, but there's been rumours that he might be up to take over the role of the Doctor, and I'm
sure they'll be fine. Whoever they pick, they'll be fine.
Whoever,
pick
that's
Richard
the
Ayoade.
thing. Like, pick Richard Ayoade, basically. I just want it. I just need it in my life.
It would be so good.
That's what saves the show.
Did you have any more trivia?
Oh, yeah,
we went off on a tangent there, sorry.
Yeah, so here's a really cool piece of trivia. So Colin Baker, who played the 6th Doctor, and Peter Capaldi, who played the 12th Doctor, both appeared in the show as other characters. I think Colin Baker played like a villain or something, and Peter Capaldi just played like a guy that the Doctor helped out. And that's really cool. So they both appeared on the show before they were then cast as the Doctor. And it's really funny.
A few companions have done that.
I think so. What played
Martha?
She did.
She appeared in the season finale of
the second season.
Second season, only to be the companion of the third. And I think they explained it like, my cousin was in the...
Yeah, and they killed her off.
The lady from Torchwood?
Yes, Eve Miles.
Yeah, she's in an episode of Doctor Who beforehand.
Yep.
A similar thing, they're like, do you have roots in this area? Yeah, my family was here. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's like literally her ancestor or something.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Bring attention to it.
And then here's a really fun and bit of weird trivia, I guess. So David Tennant, he played the 10th Doctor. He met his wife on the set of Doctor Who. She played his daughter, or not his literal daughter, but a clone of him, basically. So she is the real-life daughter of Peter Davison, who played the 5th Doctor. So the 10th Doctor is the son-in-law of the 5th Doctor.
And he kind of married his daughter twice.
And it's weird.
It's a weird because it's like, it's the 5th Doctor's daughter, and then in canon, it's the 10th Doctor's daughter. But then David Tennant married the daughter, so it's his wife. It's great. It's a messed up time. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Don't bring that into canon. And she may or may not have made a reappearance on the show. I'm not sure.
She?
I saw a thing that was like Doctor Who's Jenny comes back in like cameo thing or something. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of hope so because she was a cool character. I know that they brought back Jack Harkness.
They did, and Donna Noble was meant to only be a Christmas special.
Wait, what?
Donna Noble.
What do you mean? Oh, right. I thought you meant they brought her back recently.
Sorry. Back in she was only meant to appear for that one Christmas special.
I like that they got her back for season 4 though, because she's the best companion.
She's the best companion by far.
Do you have like a ranking of companions? We don't have to do it.
Donna Noble, the rest.
That's fair. I agree with that. Yeah, but that's all my trivia. Just little fun bits and bobs. Did you have any?
I did not know. I think it's time to spin the wheel of genres. If you haven't listened to the podcast before, the Wheel of Genres is we have a list of 20 to 21, depending on if I've removed some, which I didn't. Let me just remove that. 20 different genres of video game. And on the fly, we just got to come up with a Doctor Who game based on whatever genre it gives us.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. I don't know if the people will be able to hear this. Let's find out.
I was going to say that you can always add in a sound effect from when you spin it.
What if we did our own sound effect?
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
I stopped really early because I don't see it
You
on
don't
my
know how far it
screen,
goes.
so,
It's okay.
yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
We almost got first-person shooter, which would have been funny.
This is the Doctor with a gun.
Action RPG.
Oh. With loot? Question mark? No.
I hope not. An action RPG.
You defeated the Cyberman. Get a part for your sonic screwdriver. Interesting. Okay. Multiplayer?
So when Googling action RPG games, because
oh, right.
I feel like doing this would help give an idea.
Because we stuffed it up the other week and
we sure
you
did.
pitched the wrong game.
Sure did. I mean, I know that we both know an action RPG game. But you've got stuff like Dark Souls, The Witcher, Elder Scrolls, a lot of old-timey games, Fallout, Bastion. Oh, I guess Bastion, yeah.
Okay.
Mass Effect, Cyberpunk, these are all action RPGs.
So I'm thinking you play as a companion.
I too was thinking that.
Okay, cool. Good. We're on the same
yeah.
We're within the same couple of pages. So I would, you'd play as a companion. The Doctor would be like the sort of, I don't want to say mission giver because you'd be able to get missions off other people, but the Doctor would like be your, travel person. You'd be helping them out. So then you can do all the sort of leveling up and upgrades and everything for the companion. Then you get in on it because the companions often get in on the action more than the Doctor does, like
for sure.
physically. Like the companion will punch someone or
that was my game pitch. They're the more physical. Doctors
exactly.
More...
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, I know. Yeah. If you, you got something.
I have a pitch.
Go.
I have a pitch. I have the title, and that should give you enough.
Ooh. Okay.
Doctor Who: Torchwood.
So is the Doctor in it, or is it just a Torchwood game?
I think he'd be in it.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Torchwood is like it was set up by the British government in Doctor Who lore after an alien invasion. They are basically Earth's defense when the Doctor isn't here.
Yeah.
So they're a lot more violent, they've got guns, they've got bombs, they've got whatever. They're just the alien secret service, maybe? Is that?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Well, that's how they start out, and then they kind of, after a thing that happens in the law, after like Cybermen invade and they get defeated or whatever, there's a new Torchwood, which is much better. That's what the TV show's based on.
Right.
But yeah, they're pretty much like solving spacey sci-fi problems when the Doctor's not around.
So I'd say you play as a member of Torchwood with the Doctor.
Okay.
So the Doctor's still a part of it. Because the game would be Doctor Who Torchwood.
Yeah.
It'd be about Torchwood, but focused on Doctor Who stuff. And then you've got... That would make sense for upgrading places. You can upgrade your facility.
True.
Upgrade weapons.
Like the base down in Cardiff or whatever.
Being able to shoot a Cyberman. Like, I'm thinking first person now.
Yeah, okay.
I know that... It's funny that we were like, oh, we almost got first-person shooter.
But
I'm pitching a first-person shooter RPG.
But it's an RPG, so it's alright. It'd be like Fallout or something.
Yeah, and you're like upgrading stuff, you're leveling up. Maybe you've got the base and the Doctor's there. I would say the plot would be that maybe the Doctor's lost his TARDIS.
Oh, okay. I was my question was going to be, can we like do TARDIS stuff? But yeah, okay, Doctor's lost his TARDIS.
You can. Oh, look, it works. Maybe the first few levels are getting the TARDIS back, and then it opens up to different worlds.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I just can't imagine
like adventures and stuff.
I just can't imagine the Doctor travelling with Torchwood.
I reckon you would have like a story like the Daleks are there or something, and then it would essentially be like you'd have little level missions, like level-based missions, without any sort of exploration. So then it's like you would go to Skyro or something where the Daleks are from, and have to go and get some item or something to help battle them on Earth.
That'd be cute, yeah.
And that would like then bring the time travel stuff. So it's like you have to go back in time to get something, and it's like there would be little, just like linear sort of levels rather than more open RPG stuff.
Yeah, that would work.
And then I guess you'd just be in England like in London.
Mostly.
Mostly, yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Because that's the only way I can think. Because Doctor Who doesn't. The Doctor wouldn't really work for an RPG, I don't think.
Playing as the Doctor,
Yeah. Playing as a companion might.
Oh, absolutely.
I do want to hear more about your companion. I didn't mean to just take over. I just thought Torchwood would work.
Yeah, I was gonna say my initial thinking. I really like the Torchwood idea. My initial thinking was like, if you play as a companion, then you can go traveling around the sort of universe through time and space, upgrading the companion and helping the Doctor solve problems. But I think that we've focused it down to a Torchwood thing now. Yeah. And then it's like the traveling in the TARDIS as a companion would be through a Torchwood mission with the Doctor. It's like, hey, we need a thing, so let's go get a thing. And my thought just now was, set it during like an alien invasion on Earth. Mm-hmm. So say a Dalek invasion or a Cyberman invasion or a Quark invasion.
Yeah, classic Quark, yeah.
So you set it during like one of those invasions, and then you can have combat and stuff, because it's like the Doctor's big thing is no guns, but for someone like a Tortured member, they would actually be able to engage in that combat, or like a unit member or something, you know, like they're the other sort of military anti-alien thing. You'd be able to engage in that combat, but then your character can interact with the Doctor, and the Doctor like sees something in you, and that's why they let you travel with them on different missions. I think that would focus it down a little bit. The problem with like doing big open universe things is it's like, what's the story? And also, how do you take? Because the whole point with the companions is the Doctor recruits companions because he sees like something really important and big in them. That sets them out from other people, and it's hard to do that when you're playing this companion, when you're playing as somebody who has to engage in combat and stuff, because that goes against the Doctor. Like, there's a great scene in a terrible episode. So in the episode Into the Dalek.
Which one is that?
That's the one where they go into the Dalek. It's a Capaldi episode.
Never mind. Yep, I haven't seen it.
Lol. So there's this great scene where the Doctor saves this girl as her ship gets exploded, like gets blown up by the Daleks. So he basically lands the TARDIS like around her, and then that puts her inside the TARDIS, and then he gets out of her ship before it explodes. And she's like, the first thing she does is freaks out and like points the gun at him and everything. She's like, "Who are you? What are we doing here?" And he's like, "I saved you," in case you didn't realize. And she's like, "Where are we? Where are we?" And she's just like pointing a gun at him. And then at the end of the episode, she's all like, "Can I come traveling with you?" And he goes, "Look, you could have been so much better, but you're just like," he goes, "I see potential in you, but the whole thing with the gun is a big put off." So,
in her defense,
she was essentially just kidnapped out of her spaceship.
If I knew I was about to explode, and then suddenly I appeared in this weird fucking spacey area, and an old man was talking to me, I'd assume I died. I'd probably assume that was God, to be honest.
Probably gone to heaven.
I'd be like, holy shit, God's real. Oh no, I'm pointing a gun at God. Uh-oh.
But yeah, so there's a funny bit though when they walk out of the TARDIS after he lands her back on her ship. Like on the base or whatever, and they get out, and like she sees the TARDIS from the outside, and she goes, "Wow, it's smaller on the outside." There he goes, "Yeah, it's more fun when you go the other way." Because like this sort of famous trope in the show is every time someone gets in the TARDIS, like, "Oh my god, it's bigger on the inside."
That's fun.
Yeah, so it's funny because it's funny to see that reversed in a really unique way where they get out and she goes, "What the? It's all on the outside." It's like, yeah, it's more fun. In his Scottish accent, it's more fun when you go the other way.
That's cute. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, so it's like, I just think the idea of the Doctor traveling with someone who's like a gun wielding person just wouldn't happen.
No.
So, him or her traveling with someone briefly who is in Torchwood and uses a gun
for the betterment of humanity.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, so that's, I think, what it'd be. I like the Torchwood idea. I like the idea of traveling to other planets to get stuff, and then traveling back to Earth to keep the, fending off the invasion.
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing. It'd be cool.
I'm glad, because, I haven't seen Torchwood, so I just kind of said Torchwood and handballed that to you.
Good thing I watched the show, and I get it. But yeah, I like that. I think we've got a game, and it would be called, like you said, Doctor Who Torchwood.
Beautiful stuff. So, I think that leads back to, we actually got some feedback from last episode. We got 2 pieces of feedback from our good friend Ben.
Okay.
The first was an addition to your game, which was the Black Widow and Hawkeye.
That's the one.
You had moments of you could do like stealth or run and gun. It would depend. You can do whatever playstyle you wanted. That was correct, yeah? That was your game?
Yes, yeah, it was,
good.
I think so. It's been
Did
a
I
long
pitch
week.
that?
No, it was, yeah.
Yeah, so he thought it would be a really cool idea for Taskmaster to be like, what's your playstyle? If you were very heavily favoured stealth, then he'd put extra traps
to
stop you from doing stealth. So you have to like mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I really liked that idea. I thought that'd be really fun.
And then, so like, then the opposite being like, if
you're running and
gunning,
there's a lot more beefier enemies that maybe they can be taken out by a stealth, kill pretty easily, but it's going to be hard to face head on.
It's also going to be hard because you haven't been focusing on stealth.
Correct.
So yeah, got to change your playstyle. I'd really like that, Ben. So
I thought that was a lot of fun, and he had his own idea for a Black Widow in quotation marks game. It was a management. He put it as a... Oh my god, I've already forgotten the name of the game. But I heard it as This is the Police.
Okay.
I heard it very similar to a game, This is the Police. Fear Equation is what he related it to.
Yeah.
Of like a management, so you're kind of sending off your shield. And you're sending off shield agents into different enemy camps and different, missions.
Yeah.
And maybe they won't come back. Maybe they will, depending on how hard or easy the mission is and who you send. So you'd have Hawkeye and Black Widow as shield agents. Right. But yeah, it sounded to me a lot like This is the Police, which is a game I've played.
I've never played it.
It's a lot of fun and very stressful. As that kind of managing...
Cool. To me, that reminds me of like the Assassin's Creed, talking about it again.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood, sort of sending them off around the world and everything to do missions.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
I'd really like the idea of managing S.H.I.E.L.D. You essentially like your Nick Fury, and then you have all your different agents or something.
And he's talking about loyalty as well, like, if you put people on missions that, risk their life too much, maybe they'll fight back.
That'd be cool.
You do missions that are a little bit morally grey, you've got certain members that will fight back against that.
That'd be so cool.
It's about managing your team.
Ben, I also like that game, if you're listening.
I hope
that's
he is.
Cool.
We love you too, Ben.
Yeah, he's great.
If you have your own pitch for a whatever game, really, Doctor Who
doesn't matter, week, yeah. If you think to yourself, gee willikers, I just watched a great movie. I'd love that as a game.
Recommend it to us.
And send in a pitch and we'll read it out.
You can send it to adaptapalspod@gmail.com.
That's the one.
You can send us a tweet on Twitter, twitter.com/adaptapals, or just @adaptapals.
That's the one.
You can maybe even send it to me. I'm @aforgottendonut on Twitter.
That's the one.
If you like watching me and listening to me, and you want to see my beautiful, beautiful baby face...
He is very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Got a nice beard and all that.
Oh, stop it, you. You can watch me on twitch.tv/aforgottendonut. Really, just look up a Forgotten Donut, and chances are it'll be me.
Anywhere, yeah, it'll be you. I think there was one other, actually. I looked up a Forgotten Donut, and there was one other thing, not called a Forgotten Donut, but something with donut in the title.
Oh, shit.
I thought, ha, that's funny.
Well, it's a Forgotten Donut. Those one word is good. Right, if someone wanted to see your beautiful face...
If you wanted to see my beautiful face, and you wanted to hang out with me, I stream on Twitch as well, from time to time, under the name Dustin_Caldwell.
Super creative.
Remember? It's just my name. Yeah, so look me up on there, and otherwise, yeah, I will check emails as well with the Adaptapals pod, so that's the other way to contact me. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
I think that's the podcast.
I think that's the episode.
Yeah.
I think it was a really good episode.
Next week we'll do something.
We'll do something, yeah. We haven't decided on it yet. There was that one episode we got to do where we got to say what we're doing next.
And then we didn't, because we don't plan ahead.
We don't plan? Who plans?
But you know what I do plan for? I plan for hearing a little theme tune come in.
Oh,
I think it's coming in. I think it's happening.
Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
everyone for
definitely.
watching. I'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Much love.
Many kisses.